Welcome to Storytelling with Lindsay Bednar. Hi.
Hi.
We're back.
I'm excited to be here.
I know. I'm trying to remember how many years ago it was that was it like 2 years ago or longer that you were on? It's already 2026, and I started this in 2022.
So it was 2022?
Yeah, okay.
Like,
it's been a minute.
I think it was like your third or fourth or fifth. Like, it was in the first, couple months that you started this.
Yep. And Fozzie's cruising around in the background. He's very excited that Brooke is here. So
Hi.
You might hear some pitter patter in the background. He's like shoving a dog toy in my
I
face.
love you too, Fozzie.
Oh. So
come lay down.
He's our comic relief. Come over here.
Go lay down.
Thank God I have you to record with today. I've had several recordings that have just not come to fruition for a variety of reasons, like corroded SD card, people's schedules just ended up changing, and now today Garrison's homesick. So if it was anybody else, I'd maybe feel like, okay, maybe I should reschedule, but I know I can just have you here, and if he needs me, I can just run up.
Of course. It's just me in our sweatpants.
I know. The best.
Freezing outside.
It is. So it's nice to be cozy and just hang out on the couch while Fozzie shoves his toy in your face. So there's so much we wanted to talk about, but the thing that I feel like you and I talk about over and over again is just this phase in life with sports and how it controls our whole schedule. And I even had somebody message me just this morning about getting together, and I was like, yeah, dance and hockey pretty much dominate my schedule this time of year. So
you're like, I'll see you in a few months.
I know. And I know we can we could miss a game or we could whatever, but I don't want to miss any of their stuff. And B, it's usually that we need both of us driving somewhere. Or,
right.
There's carpools, but still, it's not easy.
Yeah. And it's just, I think sports in general, especially at the kids' age that they are, it's taken a whole new level of just there's just so much and all the time, and you always need to be doing these extra things to stay ahead of the game or stay up to your peers. And so there's that pressure too of wanting to, do the regular things, do your teams. And then it's oh, we have this extra class, or, oh, we need to, go skate and do this. And that's just this constant wheel that you're running on trying to keep up with everybody.
I know. We were talking about what we were going to do with Garrison this summer for hockey, and there's, his favorite sport is football, but it doesn't offer a whole lot of things in the summer. So if you want to do something in the summer, your options are pretty much hockey at this age. And I was like, I don't know, Bud, I just want you to be a kid. Go, he loves to go bike with his fishing pole and his tackle box to the pond. I'm like, you can do that. You can go golfing. He's like, yeah, Mom, but everybody else is in something all summer. My friends won't even be around. So then it's okay, so we're going to put you in an all-day camp and you have weekends off and that's your summer. That's just way too much to me. But this is how we all get wrapped into the cycle, because if everybody else is doing it, well, he doesn't have anybody to hang out with.
Right. It's almost I think where we struggle with it more than our kids struggle with it is that we grew up in the 80s and 90s, and like that's what our summers were, is you were just like home riding your bike, rollerblading. Like there wasn't all day camps, there wasn't like these sports things that you had to go and be and do in. And so like because that's how we grew up, it's like no, like I think, you know, and I think that like we think our kids should too, and I want them to have that summer because it was like
the best.
Amazing. Making lemonade and making brownies and going to the beach, you know, just
rollerblading
yes,
everywhere.
Rollerblading all over. Mm-hmm. And I want that for them. But it's also like, I don't know about your kids, but like mine, if they're home for longer than an hour without something to do, they're bored and don't know what to do with themselves. So it's this like vicious circle of like that I've created myself, I think, that like
we've all created.
Yeah, we've all created because they're so busy. They don't know how to not be busy, and then they're bored and they want to be busy. So it's like, how do we
I know.
find a little bit of balance, like have some of that still like summer, you know, like we had, or just every day, just a general day. Like,
right. And as adults, we are learning how important it is for us to be still, and like how meditation is important and all of those things to connect with ourselves. And these kids, I remember talking to a neighbor, and she said her and her daughter were waiting at like a doctor's appointment, and she didn't have her phone with her, the daughter, and she like didn't know what to do with her hands. Like didn't know how to sit and wait. I'm like, oh my God, did you guys ever ride the bus before phones? Did you? I mean, yes, most of our kids have, but at a certain point, once they get a phone, they have something to occupy them in all of their dead space, and adults are just as guilty of it. And so it's navigating this whole new culture that we want to wish away, but it's like we can't.
I know. And I struggle with it so much because it's like, because we've had both. Like we know both worlds.
Right.
And so for me to put my phone down too is like really hard, but like it's almost like you just need like everybody to be like, okay,
right,
we're putting our phones away for a weekend or for a day. Let's just say a day, or let's say like 4 hours after school when it's like family time, if you ever have a day where everybody's actually home, so you can like hang out. And this is like maybe like a bad example, but Weston got in trouble and got his phone taken away for an extended period of time, and it happened to be MEA break. It was the most fun I think we've had like together, just like as a family, like one-on-one, of like doing activities and talking and socializing, because one of the, you know, few of us didn't have access to their phones, so they were actually participating, and then everyone else was, you know, like excited and participating in things. And it's like, I don't want it shouldn't have to be a punishment. Right? Like it should just be like, we're just not going to have our phones for a few hours, and this is normal, and everyone has to be okay with that. Like versus like you're in trouble and you're losing your phone.
And now you lose your phone. That's such a great point. And I know there's people who take like little breaks from technology. We haven't instituted that yet. We have time limits on the kids' apps. And so when they run out, it's like, oh, I guess I'm back in the real world, and fine, I'll play a game with you or whatever. But I wish we would have done something like that from the beginning, just to set the expectation, because once you kind of open Pandora's box, it's really hard to put things back in.
Right.
And when we were on a cruise last spring, we didn't buy the Wi-Fi package specifically because we wanted to disconnect and just be present. And so you only had so much free Wi-Fi time. And so everybody was like using it very, you know, intentionally. And it was so great. And for me even, I came back and I found myself not wanting to go on social media. My whole algorithm like refreshed, which was such a great break. It wasn't feeding me, the same things over and over again. And yeah, I think we all need to institute something like that in our households.
Yeah.
Inspire me.
I agree, not starting out. Like, we didn't know what we didn't know. And
Right.
so then once, once you get so far down the road, making those changes is super. And we have limits on everything too. But I will say, having a kid in high school, they felt that I'm in high school now. I don't need to have limits because I don't need like time limits or any of that, because I think there are a lot of kids that don't have any. And so then it's like, how do you, how are you balancing? Well, just because you're in high school, I still think you need to be to bed by a certain time, right? Like, there's
Right.
still like teaching them like life lessons of, you have to get up early and you're in school all day. You're going to be tired if you stay up till midnight. Like, we're not going to do that.
Right.
But also having them make those decisions. Like, what's the cutoff of like letting them make their own decisions? And I think that goes like in general, like, how do you get them prepared for college when they're going to be on their own and they have to make these decisions? Like, am I going to be like the day he leaves for college having to turn off his time limits on his phone?
I know. I do think there needs to be that gradual release of responsibility where you're like, okay, you get your downtime. I mean, I've already seen it with the kids. Like, the downtime started at 8 o'clock or whatever, and then it was 9. Well, now sometimes Whitney's not driving home from carpool until 9:30, 10 o'clock, and they want to play a game in the car together, whatever. So then it gets pushed back a little bit further. So I think those things happen. But then, yeah, I mean, we put these guardrails up on all of this technology we didn't grow up with, and then we send them off to college, and it's like, well, now you got to figure it out on your own.
Right.
And that's scary, but it's also like we can't protect them from their own reality and their mistakes, and at some point they're going to have to figure it out. So I do think I would like them to figure that kind of stuff out at least by their senior year, when they're still with us, so we can talk about it. And okay, you stayed up too late last night. Like, how are you feeling today? And how did that affect your productivity at school or your energy at sports or whatever?
Yeah. I think that applies like across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And also just like communication. Like, I think one of the things I struggle with, or just like not struggle with, but that I think is like, in whether it be like with your kids or family or relationships or stuff, is just like, I feel like whenever there's a problem or something, there's like a gap in communication of like, I need you to do this, and like explain why, or the kids are off doing something and don't tell me, or, so it's just like,
yeah,
trying to like get that open communication of, if you want to do something, I won't care, but you need to like tell me or ask me, not just like go off and disappear and do that, right? Because the older they get, I feel like then the harder it is to kind of like rein that in, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah. And just making sure that open communication is like, we've talked before about, okay, once our kids get to a certain age, if they experiment with anything, are we going to be receptive to them coming to us and like, making sure that it's safe. Yeah, there might be consequences, but like, we're going to still talk about it.
Yeah.
Like,
I might still freak out, but then
Right.
we'll figure it out.
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
No, I agree.
You get to be the guinea pig for us.
Well,
having the older one.
I'm no expert, so it's
none
like
of
you're
us are.
figuring it out as you go. But I do think back to like like when our kids are like babies and toddlers, and we were like, I was always like, oh, I can't wait until they're not teething anymore, or I can't wait. Like I was always like, I can't wait until this stage is over because this is a nightmare. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like, I would give anything for a teething baby over like teen problems or teen, just like the older they get, the problems become harder, and not harder, but like more critical, more important that you're dealing with versus just like a crying baby. Like, so it's just more stressful. And
right. It's so much more fun, and it's so much more complex.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like we're talking about like all the negative things of like why our kids suck right now, but I feel like there's also so many good things too.
So
just
many good
like
things. And I feel like it gets more fun the older they get, because their personalities come out so much more, and you see what you have in common. They're such company, you have shows together, you like music, all of that stuff.
Shopping.
Yeah, like shopping. So fun.
You spend way more money, but it's also like, oh, this is fun. I have like a mini little best friend that
totally. You want to go to Starbucks with me? Okay. My sister's always like, your kids so have my number, because they'll be like, Auntie, we thought maybe we could like go to Starbucks and go to Target. And she's like, oh, you want to hang out with me? Okay.
Yeah.
Here, take my money.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Can I hang out with her too? Yeah. I want someone to take me shopping into Starbucks.
I know. Everybody needs Auntie Chris.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. No, it is the most fun stage, and everything gets so real. And back to sports, it's funny because everyone I talk to who has older kids is like, yeah, with your first one, you're so into like, what team are they on? Or are they doing the right things and whatever. And once you get to your second, your third, or some people fourth, fifth, they're like, whatever, man, just like do the sport that's fun for you. And I'm not going to get too wrapped up in all of that crap, because it's not worth it. And so I've listened to that for so many years. Like, okay, there's a lot of wisdom in the people being like, listen, it is youth hockey or, studio dance or whatever it is. Like, for the vast majority of people, this isn't going to be their path for, post high school.
Right.
And for some, it is, that's a different story, but, yeah, just like, I don't know. I don't put any stock in that. There's enough things to worry about than
I feel like my perspective is kind of like, what are my kids' goals? Or at least try. Like, what is their goal with that sport or activity, right? And it's like, if you, like, what do you want to do or accomplish with this? Like, if you just want to be, like, having fun with your friends, great. Like, then I feel like I go into that mentality of, like, we're just having fun with our friends. But then if it's like, I want to play this sport in college, it's like, okay, like,
deep breath.
Okay, well, we're going to need to do the X, Y, and Z, like, like, or at least then I'm like, okay, how, I feel like then it's my responsibility to be like, how can I help support and get you there if that's what your goal is, or at least like show you what is available for opportunities. If this is what you want to do, you're probably going to need to do X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to make you do it, but you probably should. So I feel like now with, having a kid in high school or kids getting older, there's a lot of more discussion of like, okay, well, what do you want out of it, so that we can figure out or make sure they're like how we're getting there, or like, or make sure there's a balance. So it's, I don't know, it's just but I don't want to be like too stressed out about it either. It's just, it is what it is, right? Like, but that's what, I mean, there was like a funny meme or a reel or something on Instagram of like someone asking what your hobbies were, and it's like, my hobbies are what my kids' hobbies are because
1,000%.
because I spend all my time watching them do the things they love, which I love so much. So it's like that's my hobbies, but after they're like gone off to school, I have no idea what I'm going to do with my all my time.
We're going to really start making sourdough. We're going to get into that, jump on that train.
I kind of want to do that now, but
I know,
I don't
I
have
do
time.
too. My sister-in-law texted me the other day and she's like, "Hey, are you still making sourdough? I have a starter kit." And I wrote back and I was like, "Still? LOL." It's like, I know that was my intention probably last year. For one thing, I can't really do bread. Like, it just doesn't work with my body.
Same.
So selfishly, I'm like, why would I make all this sourdough bread that I'm not going to be eating?
But have you tried eating sourdough? Because I heard it's supposed to be better for you.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
And I'm the same way with you. Like, I hardly eat any bread at all just because it's not good for my skin and digestion. But
yeah. And I wish Chris was in the room because she could speak to why it's not as bad.
Right.
Something. Yeah. But
I think it's how the wheat is processed here in the United States, a lot of it.
well, right. But what are you using in sourdough, guys?
I have no idea. That's why I say. Like,
yeah. There's
we need Chris.
people like screaming in the podcast right now.
We
How
need
do
to
you not
like.
know?
Can we have like a drop-in call?
Yeah.
Chris, help us with this.
If this were live. Yeah, I mean, for sure, it's our hobbies. And going back to what you said about just supporting your kids, 1,000%. Like, if they have goals and you know they want to play in college or beyond, like, you're going to support them and you're probably going to be more invested in where they're landing on which team or which, because that can impact how they're feeling as an athlete, all of that. So I get that. And I think, like you said, talking to them about what your goals are is super important.
What we were talking about a little bit ago, though, about just like needing to, it's like there's this need to keep up with all the other kids in their like grade level, age, or sport, or someone's doing a camp, so you should do a camp. And it's like, I feel like in some sense it's almost like gotten so out of hand with all these sports.
In some sense, it's gotten out of hand, like ridiculously out of hand.
So like,
but I like how you're tiptoeing around it.
Well, I mean, everyone's got their own feeling, but it's like whatever happened to like kids being multi-sport athletes. And like you and I were both athletes, like, growing up and in sports.
That's a stretch. I played a lot of sports.
You played hockey. You were a goalie.
Yeah, I wouldn't, my friends back home wouldn't consider me an athlete.
Okay.
But I played a lot of sports.
Okay. Well, so we played a lot of sports where I played a lot of sports. Like every season I had a different sport though. And that was like all through high school. It wasn't like I did one sport all year round. I mean, I think once I got to like traveling basketball, that was like broadened a little bit, but nothing like it is today where it's like, if you want to play this in high school, then you need to play it all year round. Otherwise, you're going to get behind from your peers who are playing it all year round. But what's the balance of then kids getting burnt out of the sport and not wanting to do it at all, but you're like trying to keep up with everybody else that's doing it all year round? It's like, we just need like a timeout.
Yes.
Like everybody needs a timeout and be like, okay, let's reset this. And like, and is it because it's just like fueled by money and like these programs and wanting, to make money, and that's why they're pushing them all year round? Or is it that these kids really want to be and should be playing all year round? And I don't.
Yeah, I don't think.
Maybe a mix.
I don't think most like professional athletes would suggest doing anything all year round. And from the articles I've read from professional athletes, Paul Martin, who is a friend of a friend, he played professional hockey. He had a really good article about being a triathlete when he was younger, and how important that is to take a break from a sport and then to play another sport to allow different muscles to develop, different coaching styles, different, ways you interact with teammates. So for sure, I think the year round is more about, yes, these programs are doing it to make more money, and then also because everybody wants to give their kid an edge. Well, when everybody's putting them in year round, you have no other choice to give your kid an edge but to do that and then some, which a lot of people do.
Right. Well, then the cost of all of this.
Insane.
Like, I mean, so my son stopped playing hockey this year, and I was like beyond devastated. And I don't really 100% know why. Like, I think it was more like maybe because I felt like I put so much time into it the last few years, and I'm like, what? What do you mean? This is our last year. Like, we have to do our last year. And he didn't want to, and that was not his goal. So I just had to like bite my tongue and move past it. But just the expense alone of how much hockey costs, you would have thought I would have been like jumping up and down. Like, yes, I don't have to pay for this year. Right. Like, just because sports are so expensive and all these programs, but it's just like, everyone's just like finding a way and figuring it out, and you're like doing all these extra things, and it's like how much we're spending on. I've never actually calculated it, and probably because I don't actually want to know, because I'm scared of like how much do we pay in dance and hockey and lacrosse, and when you add in the extras, right? Like these extra programs and things, like how much we're paying a year, and I have no idea.
I don't either. And part of me kind of wants to know people could be laughing at that because like how terrible we don't budget to know like what.
No, I have no idea.
And Gary doesn't know either because he asked me once about dance. I was like, honey, it's better if you don't know. Like just, let the payment go through. Don't look. Avert your eyes. But because then we can start thinking about what we're going to save at some point. And, obviously there's like college costs and stuff like that too. But I do think that is important. And we just had our financial advisor meeting the other day. And he even was like, so do you guys know like about what you're spending month or I'm like, so no. It's like, okay, so that's something we want to kind of wrap our head around so that you have, so you can start like you're wanting to invest things over here and over here. Let's get a baseline. I'm like, okay, that's fair.
I love that you don't know either. Like, it makes me feel better about myself that I'm like, I have no idea. I thought for sure Gary would be like know or have this stuff like written down, and yeah, I have no idea. I just don't want to know.
No, I mean, he's good about like money management, but as for like budgeting goes, and there's not like, yeah, I think that should be a goal of 2026, especially just part of goal setting and what you want to,
Yeah. Let's make that our goal.
Okay.
Understanding how much money we spend in activities.
Yes. Okay.
So that we can come back next year and be like, look at all this money we're going to save.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Okay. That'll be a goal for this year. We're probably going to wince initially, but,
Yeah.
It's all so worth it. I literally, okay, I know you're going to laugh when I say marching band, but it was so fun. And anybody from Grand Rapids can attest our marching band was amazing and competitions were amazing. So I loved that. I loved playing hockey. I loved playing basketball when I was younger. There's some of the things I did, but those were the main ones. But to be a sports parent has a whole other vibe, and it's so fun.
It is.
And I should say activities parent because it could be, whatever. But
whatever activity, sport, yeah.
But it is fun. And it is our social life. Like, what else would I be doing? I don't know.
Well, 100%. I mean, that's well, now that the dance season is picking up, I will spend every weekend at a dance competition. So, like, that's what you do. That's who you hang out with. Like,
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it's the golden years, and we don't have drivers yet. You will soon. So you still get that time in the car,
yes.
which I love. Often have to remind them to put their phones away and be present with me while I'm driving them from A to B, but A to Z. But nonetheless, like it is a really amazing time, and it's so short that it scares me to think about that next step.
Yeah, well, that's when we were talking about just when they were like really little and, you know, wishing, like waiting, like till this next phase. And now I feel like I'm at that stage where I want time to be paused because I literally thought last month, I'm like, there is only 3 more Christmases and then Weston will be in college. And that, like, everything just like, I don't know why in my head I feel like once he goes to college, then everything is going to change in some aspects. And so I'm like, what if he never moves home after that? Or, you know, like
Right.
it just, everything will be different. So now I'm like thinking, I only have 3 more years. It's like, how do I fit it all in of like all these things that we want to do or, you know, like that we still need to talk about or I don't know, just,
Yeah.
and how do I squeeze that into the next 3 years?
And that's why I'm so like, let's take all the vacations together now before they're off and doing their own thing, like whatever, you know, and if people have the means to do it and even like take out a savings and can work more once the kids are out of the house, like just having those time, and they don't have to be expensive, like road trips can be amazing, whatever it is, camping weekends, but just having that time where you're disconnected from everything else but each other is so huge.
Yeah. Have you guys done a road trip? Like actual?
No, we haven't. And we've said for years we're going to do like South Dakota, Black Hills,
Yes.
all of that.
Can we just do it together?
Yes, 100%.
Let's rent an RV.
Yeah. Oh my God, that'd be so fun.
Oh man.
We'll just make Gary drive.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, that's what I was going to say is I'm waiting until now when Weston has his license. So then I don't have to be the only driver.
Smart.
Like, cause I was like, I hate driving, especially like longer than 4 hours. And I'm like, okay,
Right.
I'm done. So
Right.
I could never just do it with the kids. So I'm like, once Weston has his license, that's like bucket list for sure. Like
For
family
sure.
road trip.
It's just so hard. So Whitney literally has 2 weekends in the summer that she can choose to go to Bible camp because every other, or 2 weeks, because every other week she has dance,
Yep.
which is wild to say. But that's been our reality since she started competition dance. So we have 1 weekend every year where we do a high school, we call it camping weekend, but we stay at my friend Christy's house on the lake. And so that's like a don't miss. And then we have nationals, which is over the summer. And then in August, she starts up boot camp. So she's got to be there, has to be present like Monday through Thursday. So if you want to take a road trip, you need a week, you know. This is her last year. She can do Bible camp. And then after that, it's like a different thing. I don't think she'll do that anymore. So maybe after this year, it will be easier because we'd have that week off. But
I mean, I think that's kind of the same.
yeah.
I think technically we have like 2 weeks off or a week and a half off of dance, and then between nationals and when it starts back up again. So it's like,
I mean, can we just pause for a second and recognize how insane that is? And don't get me wrong, they're like, the dancing is awesome to watch. I love it so much. I never anticipated being a dance mom. but it is, it's, yeah, it lights her up. It's her thing. I love watching, but like, man, that is a huge commitment on the entire family.
It is. I grew up going, I mean, you guys have the lake in Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Like we would go to Cross Lake every year, and even trying to like squeeze that in the last few years has been like, I don't know, maybe we can come for a couple days, or how are we gonna
Right.
how are we gonna squeeze in? But I also feel like I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, well, we're just gonna have to miss dance, or we're just gonna have to miss this game or activity, because like we can't do everything or be everywhere. And that's back to where like the multi-sport thing comes in. It's like, well, we also play lacrosse, or she plays lacrosse now, and it's like, which season are we really in? Is it lacrosse season or dance season? Like,
how does that even work? Because they're both like competitions in the spring. Isn't it a spring sport?
She just does summer, but yes, it's
gotcha.
high school. It's a spring sport.
Okay.
So, but yes, but it's like, I've always been now with multi-sport or multi-activity kids and everything going all year round. I'm like, okay, well, it's football season, so you're going to miss hockey because it is football season right now. And
football season's so short.
Right. And just because they decided to start hockey in September, which I think is insane, like, sorry, we're missing hockey because it's football. So I've always like play the season, unless it's just like a practice or something versus a game. Then I'm like, okay. But that's just kind of always been my rule. It's like, we play regardless of the team or whatever, we play the season. And that seems to work okay.
Yep. I think most people understand that, and a lot of people do the same. We do that as well, because hockey always starts to infringe on the football season. And I'm like, we only have so many, weeks as it is to have games. So, yeah, no, that's Garrison's favorite regardless, but yeah.
I don't know if we came to any conclusions.
I don't think there is
this
a conclusion.
Conversation.
It's just like, this is how things are right now. And being that they have access to technology, most kids have a phone. It is something that takes them out of that and has them be at least present and with other kids. So that's obviously part of the goal.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, just to touch on that, like so many of the sports teams now, like they have a team chat, right? And if you don't have like a
Snapchat.
phone, yeah, well, and one of my kids does not have Snapchat because I said she's too young, but like their teams are talking, right? And have a snap, like that's how they communicate with each other. Like there's no texting, like they don't text back and forth. It's only on Snapchat. So if someone's like, I'm having, people over to skate, or we're going to go do this or that, right? It's through Snapchat and I get not everyone's allowed to have it, but like that's how these kids are communicating right now. Like they don't pick up the phone and call each other. They don't, they don't use the text message feature on their phone, which is there for. They're using Snapchat to talk back and forth with each other. And so it's like, how do you say, like, no, sorry, you can't communicate with your friends, like,
right,
either. Like, how do you balance, like, trying to balance that out as well is, and granted, if I knew what I knew, like, now, I probably would have said no to it for my older child for a lot longer than,
right,
or he had said it a lot longer than he probably should have, because we're still all figuring this out.
Yeah. Well, and every kid is different, right? Like Whitney's my typical firstborn. She's super responsible. Like I really don't worry about. I've never checked her phone. I've never actually. I don't check either of my kids' phones. I just I've had the Bark app on their phones before, and that will say like if there's, bullying or any kind of sus behavior.
Yeah.
As the kids say. Do they still say sus?
I don't think so.
Okay.
They apparently don't say 6-7 anymore either. He didn't inform me, and I was
God.
like, okay, like.
Thank God, probably because the adults started doing it. So
Yeah.
that's just what we need to keep doing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so what was I saying? With their like protection of things, I think every kid is different, and like just having a son, I mean, Garrison's 6th grade, super innocent, but at a certain point, he has access. He's gonna have access to things that are online, and if I know anything about pubescent boys, I'm sure whatever is out there. So that part scares me, and it's like you can find things on Twitter now. You can see things on Instagram that I wouldn't want them to see. So,
Right.
He has a teen account on Instagram, so I can even see what he's searching for and stuff like that, which, it's like hockey, football, nothing, whatever. But yeah, there's going to be that time where the internet comes to be a so much more real and scary place.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I actually know of firsthand of a few people who their kids have been affected by like that catfishing, sextortion online,
Mm-hmm.
which scares the crap out of me. And so I've talked to the kids about it until I was blue in the face. Like, do not accept conversations from anybody you don't know. And I will show them that messages that I get from people that I don't know, and typically it's spam, and so I'll show them like how it shows up on my phone and what it looks like, and I teach them how to recognize it. But in this whole sextortion thing is so sneaky, because it'll be like, hey, your friend so-and-so sent me your profile or whatever it's called, and I think you're cute, haha. And like they start, talking like a teenage kid and going back and forth. I mean, the amount of boys especially that this has affected, and boys that have taken their life over it, is so sad. And so I get how people are like, I'm not giving my kid any kind of social media. I don't want them to have any part of that world. But I want to be here and help coach them how to navigate it. Like, we can't ignore the world that we're living in, and I don't want to keep them in this like porcelain box. I want to empower them with the tools to recognize what these things are, to know when to come to me, all of that stuff. And
100%, because you can be there to help. I mean, it goes back to us like not like turning off Weston, waiting to turn off Weston's
downtime
yeah. When he is walking out the door for college, and it's like, no, I want to be here and help you with, navigating through this while I'm here, like while I can, right? So that, to make good decisions, and you're going to make bad decisions as well through this process. And at least then we're there to help them get through that. But I don't want to send them out into the wild when they turn 18 and go to college, and then not have any of these conversations or experience, because I think the technology and with AI and all that, things are only going to just continue to change and progress, right? Like, we're never going to go back to the 80s and 90s and how that was. It's just going to keep going. So
I know, which is sad, but it's true.
Maybe that should be another goal, is to have like a 90s summer weekend or something.
Yes, I was gonna say that when you were talking about before. We need just like a pause. I was going to say that was the silver lining of the COVID era.
100%.
Because all sports were called off. everyone just had all this free time. We live in a neighborhood that's like, our neighbor calls it Whoville because it is like magical.
Yeah.
Like, kids just play and run around and yeah, so let's do another 90s pause. And we don't need the government to do it for us.
Right. We don't need COVID to do that for us. Let's just be like, okay,
Yeah.
here's what we're going to do this weekend.
I love it. Can
I'm
we
writing
dress
it
like
down.
it too?
Huh?
Can we dress like it too? Like 90s?
Yes.
Yes, and do like 90s movie marathons
Yes.
and music. Oh my gosh.
I'm writing it down.
Okay,
90s
good.
pause.
I'm in. Now we just need to sync our schedules.
Calendar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think I saw you one weekend all summer last summer. Like, I actually don't think I went to the pool. I think I went to the pool one time when you were there. Otherwise, the entire summer was just like,
Yeah.
I don't think I went to the pool after that.
No, I only went a handful of times, if that. Yeah, and
That's actually really sad. The
it's
fact that
very
it's across the
sad.
street, and I think there was like a couple evenings that I brought Hayden like after 8 p.m. because we were just gone, and then she wanted to jump in quick. So
yeah, so like I don't know, is this generation going to have some kind of awakening in their like 20s and 30s that they're all like, I don't know how to be still, and then they all start leaning into yoga and meditation, and maybe that's what I should start investing in.
I would love that.
I know. I mean, that's kind of a human's evolution. Like, we just go through life kind of on autopilot until we get to a certain age, and we're like, wait, why am I making these decisions? Or what do I have to undo to,
Yeah.
Or
sometimes I have these like, oh my God, my parents were right. Like moments where like just things that they would say. Like, now I'm like, I feel like I'm like sounding like my parents did when I was to my kids. Or if I complain about the kids and their attitudes and things like that, and they just like laugh because they're like, you were the exact same. When I'm like, what? No, I wasn't. I was a perfect angel.
Oh yeah. Even just saying, I don't need to give you a reason why I said no. The answer is no.
Yes.
And I never thought I would be a parent that said that, because we have like, one of the things I try to do is like, okay, if you want something, I'm not going to say no. I'm going to say, like, how can we figure out how you want this? So Garrison, for instance, wants a new hockey stick. Okay, he just got one for Christmas. Like, all right, these things are like, between $300 and $400. He has the money to get one. So is that the worst investment? No, but it's also like, you've literally just got one and now you want another one. It's just for the sty reason. Like, we're trying to like teach, money management and all of that. And so there is a part of like, I don't want to say no. I want to help them figure out how to do things. But at the same time, sometimes I'm like, it's just no. Like, he wanted to go skiing the other day, and apparently the reasons I was giving him weren't good enough, even though it was like negative 24 with the wind chill. They were going to close it was Martin Luther King Day, so they were going to close by 4. It was already noon. So I had plenty of reasons, but eventually it was just like, the answer is no. We just need to accept it.
I feel so much better though, because I thought it was just that my kids like weren't like pushing my buttons, like, because then I say like, or I ask them to do something, and it's like, why? Like, and I was like, when I was a kid, I feel like I just like had to do these things. I never questioned why I had to do them. Like, so I'm like, why are we questioning me? Like, you just need to do this.
I think that's also very personality type thing though, because I've always been like, not rules don't apply to me, but like,
Yes, I
very
can see that. Like,
yeah, very much a baby of the family.
you're the
like,
baby of the family. I was the firstborn.
Those rules are cute, but like, there's ways around this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to find the loophole, or that rule is stupid, or whatever. And so I do think birth order plays a part of it, but kids pushing back on their parents is such a natural part of child development. Like, I had child development college. We had so much teacher training when I was in the alternative schools. That was so beneficial just to parenting. And I try to remind Gary when he's like, Garrison keeps pushing back on me, and I'm like, yeah, that's what they do at this age. But you have the choice as to whether or not you're going to let it work you up and get all worked up about it, or if you're just going to say, like, I'm sorry that's making you upset. The answer is no. And
could you come to my house and then just respond back for me? Because I feel like I take the Gary route where I get like super worked up and I'm just like, just do it now.
Trust me, I have my moments too. But for the most part, I mean, it is remembering that they are the ones on the hormonal roller coaster.
Are they though?
Oh, we'll get to perimenopause. But like, that's a very appropriate, like, their mood's gonna be all over the place. And so the best thing we can do is just to be the steady, constant rock. And I saw a video that was actually talking about how a male is supposed to like be for a female, because a female has typically, I shouldn't say has, but expresses such a wide range of emotions, especially in our 40s. And we're like the water, and the husbands, the spouses, boyfriends, or your partner, whatever, could be like the dam. Now, that probably sounds sexist to some people, but the reality is, if you have one person anyways in the household that is the kind of just like the even keel, then I think it fares way better. And when I was, one of the trainings that I had was called Love and Logic, and it was all about how you stay calm in these situations. And so Gary and I were talking about doling out consequences, and he likes to blurt out a consequence as soon as, like, in the heat of the moment. And so after that happened, like, I pulled him aside and I was like, okay, can I offer a suggestion? Can I offer you some feedback? Which I'm sure he loves to hear. And it, like, I get it when you've just had it up to here and you just want to, like, you don't get your phone for the rest of the weekend or whatever it is. But if you don't give, like, if you give a consequence and just blurt it out, sometimes it can be really hard to stick to that consequence, because it might inconvenience you. It might not be realistic. And then you end up going back on what you said, which kind of, you lose, like, your authority then in the situation, because they're like, well, whatever, they gave me a consequence, it's not even going to stick anyways. And so I encourage them to be like, just say, there's going to be a consequence for that, calmly. Mom and I will talk about it and we'll let you know, but I need you to, go cool off, whatever. Because then it gets the kids' wheels turning, like, oh crap, what are they gonna,
what is it gonna be?
And their imaginations run wild. And
which I feel like I need to do more of, because I usually always default to phone.
Right.
And that literally is so inconvenient for me, because when they have activities or I'm gone or need to go and I need to get like, I can't take away the whole phone. Like, I need to be able to call them or text them. So then it's like shutting everything else off. And it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then somehow eventually they'll, like, work their way into, like, I just need to do this one thing for 10 minutes or whatever. And two, like, all their school stuff, like, it's no different than work. Like, I can access all my work stuff from my phone, just like they can get to all their school stuff, like Google Classroom and stuff, from their phones. So it's like,
Yeah, or they look on. Whitney has the band app for dance, which will send videos of like their practice routines.
Yes.
Or Garrison has Sports Engine for hockey and
Right.
baseball.
Right.
Like,
So
I want
it's-
to know my schedule.
yes, or like Facebook, we have all our dance stuff, and music is on Facebook. You know, like so, it's I need to not just like default to, you know what I mean, like that, or like actually like have time to process
Yes.
why I'm so mad and like what consequence would be the best to fit for that.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it this week and see what
I know. I was like, literally, Garrett, I'm giving you the gift of not having to dole out a consequence on the spot, because the vast majority of us are not going to do one that is easy to stick to, that's conducive to us, because we're going to throw something out that like makes them go, you know, so they stop whatever they're doing. But yeah, it kind of gives everybody a break then. And so
I saw a funny consequence the other day that I kind of want to do just to see, where it's not taking away the phone or like technology, it's taking away all the chargers.
oh
So like watching their face as like their battery like slowly like
that's
dies.
good. Yeah.
I thought it was really funny. I was like, huh, that's a good one.
Just sitting in the corner, like watching them scramble.
Yeah, like I've only got 3% or whatever.
There are a lot of people who change their Wi-Fi password like frequently, and so they'll just not give access, and or a lot of times it's about like getting chores done.
Yeah.
You don't get the Wi-Fi password until this is done or whatever. Now that
Are
doesn't
you
really
guys
affect-
good about chores?
Oh God.
No.
Yes.
Whitney's good about chores.
Well, for how organized she is and everything, her room's kind of a different story.
Oh.
But we, as calm as I typically am, and I can be level-headed, I was starting to lose my shit the other day because I was on my like 5th load of laundry of like the oversized hoodies that you can only wash so many at a time, and they're all different colors. And and they're clean. They were worn once, right?
Right. Or worn for 2 hours and they end up on the floor, and then you ask them to pick up their laundry or clothes, and then they just put them in the
dry
laundry
clean laundry
basket.
room. And don't.
That's all
yeah.
I wash is hooded sweatshirts.
Yeah.
And sweatpants.
Yeah, so I had to have a come to Jesus conversation and be like, you guys, I am done washing clothes that are clean. Because what I was starting to do is it would be in the laundry room and I would look at it and I was like, this still looks clean. I just put it back on the hanger. And I was like, well, this is a dumb little game. Like, I shouldn't even have to do this.
This is a dumb game.
And I know my kids are old enough to do laundry. They've done it before. But, you know, initially I was like, well, I'm home. I can be doing it while I'm working and whatever. I can't keep up with it. I just can't. My laundry room always has stuff in there, and it's
Unless you do a load, unless I do 2 loads a day, I could never keep up with it. Like I literally would have to do 2 loads every single day.
well, but I see that and I'll raise you one because I am not like a what's the word? I don't have like OCD about anything, but when it comes to laundry, I cannot wash athletic stuff with like cotton stuff because I don't want it to get pilly.
Oh.
So that creates a whole extra, and then I don't dry everything. I lay a bunch of stuff out or I hang it up.
I find this so interesting about you
I
because
know.
you are literally not OCD, like where I'm OCD about like everything.
Right.
And I am not with laundry. I'm like darks, whites.
That's
we're
probably why your house is cleaner than mine, because you actually have your laundry done.
good. Well, but I don't. But maybe I should be like separating it more.
Well,
But
I
I
think
don't.
it does. I really think it does keep the integrity of the clothing. But, yeah, no. I mean, anybody who knows me knows I don't have a lick of OCD. My house is, it's lived in. I mean,
It's very clean right now.
yeah, it is. It's clean. I mean, I pick up. I don't like clutter. I don't like whatever, but I'm not somebody who cleans the house every day. So anyways, laundry,
Oh, we were talking about chores.
chores.
I feel like I'm really good on some weeks where I'm like, but I feel like I have to remind the kids. Like, and I don't want to have to do that. Like, on Monday, the garbages need to be emptied out. And then they are responsible for unloading and loading the dishwasher.
Oh, see, that's already two more than I have them do. I mean, my kids literally don't do anything. Because my mom did everything for us.
Yeah.
Because she didn't work. And
Yeah.
so I've just always felt like that's my role.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom always used to say to us, like, just be a kid while you can be a kid. And I loved
Oh,
that.
that's nice of your mom.
I know. She was so pampering and loving, and she really did just let us be kids. And I figured it out, when I got to college and got on my own, for the most part, Brooke's laughing because I don't have everything together. But I do think chores are great for kids. They teach them responsibility. They teach them, just when they know how much work goes into it, they have so much more respect for it. And so that's something with laundry. I'm like, you guys have to start doing laundry because you have no idea how long this takes. And when you just leave stuff on the floor, the towels. Oh my God, the towels. When they take a shower and leave a damp towel on the floor, that is when I have to really like breathe in, breathe out. Because I don't know how many times I've told them.
Well, or swimsuits. And I find wet swimsuits in Hayden's closet on the floor, wet, and I'm like, the
From
laundry,
your hot tub?
Yeah, the laundry room is literally the door next to your door. Like, I don't do hampers in the kids' room because the laundry room is literally outside of their bedroom doors. So it's like, just take your clothes and granted, they'll put them on the floor in the laundry room, but at least they like made it into the laundry room. So if like the wet towels and stuff are in there, that's fine. But they use a new towel every single day, sometimes 2 a day. And I cannot be washing that.
Yeah, that's no for me. Do you use a new towel every day?
No, I hang mine up and I reuse it.
Right.
And they hang them up. So there's like hooks. They hang them up on the hooks. But then when they take a shower, then they just take a new towel and then hang that one on the hook. So then I go to the hooks and there's like 5 towels, which I don't even know how you hang that many towels on a hook. But like where you're like, you guys, I just cleaned all the laundry. How on earth are all of your towels like already here? They're clean. Like, and I mean, they're clean kids,
right?
Clearly, but like
towels everywhere,
right?
Yeah, and I think if I were more, I'm not a structured person. Like I'm not like I don't actually think I have kind of like a ick factor with structure. If anything,
like you don't have a day that you do laundry or like a day that you.
No,
I don't either.
It's when a schedule allows.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely think I have a ick factor with structure, and it makes me feel like too contained or put in a box or whatever. And so because I'm probably not the best at implementing structure with them as to getting things done, because mine is like, I'll do it when I can fit it in.
Yeah.
Of course, if I'm having company or whatever, like you find a way.
Right. Which I think is fine. I don't think, like, I just wish, like, and back to, I think I set it up. It's how I've set it up. Like, if I just remind them randomly, but then there's certain days where I'm really crabby and then I get pissed because they, like, didn't unload the dishwasher. I didn't remind them, but it's like, you guys are just, like, here.
Right.
Like, can you not see that the sink is full of dishes and be like, let me help out? Like,
oh, yeah, no.
or the driveway needs to be shoveled. or
no, and they're not going to think of it on their own, which is
I think
is part of their
growing, right?
Yeah, that's
Like,
part of their child development. Right now, they're in the world revolves around me,
yeah.
which is totally normal and healthy and great. Like, live your best life. That's great for you.
I'm curious though, just with like boys and girls, like, so we both have kids in middle school, and like,
We both have one boy and one girl.
yeah. Is that kind of how Garrison is like with like revolving, like things revolving around him? And the reason I ask is I feel like I never really saw that with Weston until now, but with Hayden as a girl, like going and just going into middle school, it's 100% that way of like, so
Interesting. Yeah, I don't see that with Garrison yet.
okay, so
Yeah, he's very like in tune to me, and he's a big empath too, so that could be part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was just curious of like how how it's going with like middle school and his attitude and things like that, because I'm definitely now getting way more attitude and do what I want. Yes, like as a high schooler, and I was like, wait, what happened? Like,
where's my sweet boy?
Middle school was so much easier. Now high school, I'm like, oh boy, I didn't think I thought I skipped past the attitude, and I was only getting it with her. So
yeah, and I think for moms maybe it's harder when it comes from sons, because like we know that's going to come from a girl. Like we're
prepared. We're like,
we know what that looks like,
which is actually kind of sad that I'm just like, this is normal.
Right.
And, like, I just am like, I like walk away, or like I'm like, okay,
right. Yeah, you're going to have your mood. I know what this is.
That's so funny. I never thought about that.
Yeah, but with sons, it's like, what?
Yeah. What did I do? Like,
I know. I am not looking forward to that stage. And just like, Garrison's such a snuggler, and yeah, someday that'll be different, and
that's
that
a
makes
really
me
good
sad.
like perspective though. I never thought about it that way. That I think it throws me off, and I'm like,
yes,
are you okay? Like, what's happening?
Right.
I just get like, where's this attitude coming from? Did I do something wrong? Did something happen? Like, I asked like a million questions, and probably makes him more crabby, because I'm like trying to get to the bottom of the crabbiness, and it's just like, I'm just in a bad mood today. Oh, okay.
Right.
Well, you're not entitled to be in a bad mood today.
I know, because you don't really expect that from men, right? Like,
yes.
I mean, Gary's, he even keel dude. Like, yes, when the kids frustrate him or whatever, then he can get, he can get hot. But yeah. So I think we're not used to males having moodiness, and it's probably very weird.
And I want to fix. I'm like a fixer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if someone like that, I'm like, how can I fix this? Like, tell me about what's happening so that I can figure out how to fix that. And maybe it's sometimes like, I don't need or want you to fix anything. There's nothing I can fix, but
no,
I'm always sure that there is. Like,
oh, I know. And that's been such a humbling and difficult part of being a parent is when like how to, like, let's say they're having an issue with a friend or something, and it's like, okay, this is exactly what you do, and you just want to like tell them and lay it out.
Mm-hmm.
But just like knowing that your role in that moment is to like hug them through it, love on them, ask them questions, and like bite your tongue. And I think that was a tough part for me, because I think I've talked about this probably on a previous podcast, but I remember one time Whitney coming to me with an issue with friends years ago, and I was like, oh, okay, I know exactly what to do, da-da-da, giving her advice, and then she kind of started getting quiet, and I was like, what's the matter? And did I say something wrong? And she was like, next time will you ask me if I want advice before you offer it? I was like, oh, snap. This is how our children teach us. Like,
Yeah.
that is what I needed to hear.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing that would go for any adult relationship. Like, if a friend is coming to me, like, they don't want you to go like, oh, that's an easy problem. Just do this. It's like, no, you're not hearing them.
See, and that's like ties back to communication of just like both ways and in different ways, right? Of like, I love that she was able to communicate that, because I don't know if I would have.
I know. And
been
I was
able
like,
to be like, could you ask
choking
me?
on my humble pie.
Yeah. You were just so excited that you could like help her with something,
Totally.
which I feel like that's how I would be like,
Yeah.
okay, let's do this.
Yeah. But they
don't always want help or need help either.
Yeah. I've had to check myself so many times. And with adult relationships too, like, anybody really is typically coming to just vent, right? And they just want to be heard and feel seen. And so, if I wanted somebody to solve my problem, I'd go to my husband, because that's what guys like to do.
Yeah.
They're fixers, but
that's funny. I totally see that now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, apologies in advance if I've ever done that, because I think to you, because I think
Oh, no. I can't think of a specific time.
Okay. Well,
I just meant like I see where guys, like, I can think of instances of like conversations of like where I'm just like venting or like
yes.
X, Y, and Z, and then it's immediately like this, and I'm like, I don't need
yeah.
I don't need like fixing it. I just want to vent for a second.
Because when somebody tries to like fix it for you, what you're essentially feeling then is like, you're making this sound so easy, and right now it's not easy for me, and it's difficult, and you're almost being condescending or making me feel like I don't have a reason to be upset about this, because this is how easily you just fixed it for me.
Yes. And then I get overwhelmed. Like, or just like my brain is overwhelmed with like, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And yeah, it can be difficult when you can see like so clearly this is how you could resolve it, to just like hold space and ask questions. I mean, that's, what therapists do.
Right.
Just ask a ton of questions and hold space. And it allows people to get to their own conclusion. But it is tough sometimes.
I've just got a lot to think about here with all these topics.
I know.
How am I going to incorporate all this into my life?
I know. Well, I feel like it's... just had to double check, make sure we're still recording. I get like... so every so often I will check to make sure the record button is on, because... has it ever happened to me before? I think one time I didn't hit record. And so now I'm like, I have a complex about it. We're recording, so
okay.
We're good.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're parents for the first time, right? So it's like our poor oldest are the guinea pigs, and then they get the neurotic version of us. That's like, your bedtime is structured.
Oh,
you're going to eat the healthy things. You're not going to be exposed to XYZ. And then you have your younger kids who are like, well, here you go.
Right. I mean, I'm pretty sure Hayden ate dinner at 9:30 last night. But granted, we had like dance. She had a snack before, like something before dance, but that's at like 4:00.
Right.
And then she had homework, and then, I wasn't really thinking about it because it's after 9:00, and she came downstairs. She was like, I'm kind of hungry. And I was like, oh my gosh, you didn't really eat like dinner. Yes. Like, well, here you go.
1,000%. It happens so often because you have one kid at this activity, one kid at that one. People are eating dinner at different times. And so yeah, all of a sudden your baby is like, I didn't eat dinner. And you're like, what? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, you know where the fridge is.
Yeah.
Like, help yourself to whatever you want. Like, I don't know. That's where my structure. I have none when it comes to like dinner
Meals.
or bedtime. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys need to go to bed. Like, both of you now. Or it's like, oh crap, everyone's awake and it's still 10. Like,
I know. Well, and like with Garrison being sick today, he had a sleepover 2 nights ago.
oh,
And then last night, no, he started to get sick. So 3 nights ago. So then the night after that, the 4 of us were just like talking far too late. And I finally looked at the clock. I was like, you guys, it's like 10:30 something. Like everybody needs to go to bed.
but I feel like those are the times, like, those are the things they'll look back on and like remember. You know what I mean?
I
Where
hope so.
like, I don't know, just when you're like having a good time or talk or
I know. And before bed seems to be some of our best conversations where, and it could be like when I was teaching and my students would ask me questions about like myself or my life, and it took me a while to realize that they were trying to just put off doing whatever we were supposed to be doing. And like Garrison has told me that him and his classmates have done that in class before, and I'm like, oh my God, I legit just thought my students were interested.
yeah, like
whatever.
you were so excited they wanted to
So
know about your life, and here you're like, oh, they just didn't want to do the assignment
Yeah.
or work.
Because a lot of times at bedtime, Gary and I will be telling them, I don't know, just stories about us or whatever. A lot of different things. It's just stuff about life.
Yeah.
But that is typically when we talk about it. So now I'm wondering if...
Weston just asked me yesterday in the car. He's like, what did you and Dad do before you had kids?
We had a lot of fun.
like he's like, no, like, what did you like do? And I was like, I mean, I worked a lot. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And he's like, you just worked all the time. And I was like, well, we'd party. We'd go out with friends. He's like, you were a partier? He's like repeating it. And I was like, oh, I feel like I can't say any right answer right now. I'm like, no, but we'd like go out with friends. Like, you know, we'd go do stuff. Like,
Yeah. Go out. That's what
yeah,
we would
like
do.
we'd go out. Like,
Uh-huh.
so it was just a really funny question. Like, I think he's now just realizing like how much time like I spend in the car driving them
Well, that's nice.
here to
Hopefully he's
there.
getting
So it's
some
just like,
perspective.
what did you actually do before you?
I sat and waited to do this.
Yeah, it was just I just thought it was a cute, really funny.
That
like,
is cute.
topic. Like, nothing. We didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I had a life. No, just kidding. Like,
Right.
you
Yeah.
are my life.
You had
But
free
that's
time.
like kind of
Right.
wanted to say like,
Right. I actually had free time then.
no, but that like goes back to like once they're like gone at college or
Mhm.
whatever, then it's like, what, like, do I have to like come up with like hobbies or like
I know.
travel? Or I think back to a story that my parents told me and my sister, and I don't remember when, but it was both my sister and I were in college, and they like didn't know what to do with themselves, and they were so used to being at like our games, like, you know, sporting events. And so they went to Dairy Queen and they got ice cream cones, and then they pulled up to like a baseball field just like
Just to
random
watch.
random kids. And they
cute.
sat, ate their ice cream cone, and watched just like a random softball or baseball game or whatever was
Oh.
going on. And I like,
That like breaks
was
my
like-
heart.
I know, well, like thinking about that now, I was like, oh my God, that's gonna be me.
Right?
But at the time I was like, you guys, that's creepy.
Your poor parents.
Like, that's really creepy. Like, you guys are just watching some kids you don't know. But now I'm like, Oh, is that going to be me? Like, I miss watching football games. I'm going to go to the football game.
I know, but you'll have Nora and Finn. You can cheer on.
Yes, but
so she's got niece and nephew that are local, and I've got 2 nieces who are 45 minutes away. But that's something,
and they're
I've
so
thought
much
about.
younger, so
Yes.
it's like an age gap. So yes, so I still can watch them, but
Right.
like it just won't take up like
Right. You won't be doing the driving.
yes, which I guess I have 6 months, and my driving will probably be cut in half. So
Yeah.
that will be a whole new experience. So
How?
my life might be a lot different in a year than it is right now.
Yeah. How's he been doing with driving? Like with
But-
what do you call it?
With his permit?
Permit.
Yeah. I was like, what are we?
Permit
Good. I will say my nerves and stress and anxiety in the winter have been like times 10, and I don't let him drive as often as like before it was winter. I don't know that that's a good thing, but it's just like back to they're not little, and it's not little problems. They're like
Right. These are
big, and these are like adult problems, and so it's just like, yeah, he's doing good though.
Yeah.
He's a little fast.
Yep.
And I would say I'm not the most patient, like, person, like, with him driving. Like, I just get like, I don't know, on edge, where I feel like you'd be much more calm and like.
We'll see. I mean, literally, Gary and I were I sent him a reel, and we were on our way back. We were dropping the kids off this morning, and so because we went to the gym together, so we had a little date. And anyways, I was showing him this reel when we were in the long drop-off line of this guy who dresses up like a woman and pretends he's his wife, and he, as his wife, was sitting in the passenger seat and was responding to the husband's driving, and would say things like, "Oh, I don't like that truck. I don't like how close you are to that truck." And then what was the other comment that was so real? Because I know I've said it to Gary so many times. Oh, would you have seen that if I weren't in the car with you?
Oh my God.
I know I've said before, because the amount of times I've said, like, Gary, and usually he says, babe, like, I see it, like, settle down. But there have been times where he's like, oh, like, okay, thank you, or whatever.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So am I supposed to relax now?
Yeah, no, and he's just like out driving the streets by himself.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I get it's
Is that
stressful.
just men, or is that just a women's response? I don't know, but there is a dynamic, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, I know I get it from my mom, because when my mom, still to this day, like when my dad's driving, it's like my dad is out to crash the car every time we get in, from my mom's perspective. And so it's like, slow down, or I feel like I'm getting better. I'm trying to be calmer, because then he gets stressed out, and I'd say I'm probably not his favorite passenger to instruct him. But what I do think is crazy, and I don't know if this is just a Minnesota thing or if this is how it is in other states, but like the fact that they like do their like classes, and then they get their permit, and then it's just like up to me to be like, okay, like they don't do like any behind the wheel or anything with like an instructor.
So is it
before
just
they
on
actually
your
start
honor
driving
of how many hours they put in?
No, like you get your permit, and then the first time he drives is just like with me. Like,
got it.
There's no
first
like
time behind
behind the wheel. There's no.
Was that how it was for us? I know I rode with an instructor, but I don't know when it.
I don't know. I think we had our permit first. I think we got our permit, and then our behind the wheels are after that. And then your behind the wheels you do, and before you take your exam.
Yeah.
Where I think, and I I'm not 100% sure, but I think in North Carolina, you actually get in a car like before you get your permit and you're with like an instructor, at least like, because like,
Yeah.
I feel like when Weston, like the first time he drove, like I wasn't like, okay, you need to like adjust your mirrors and this and that. Like I didn't think of it. He just like told him how to start the car and away we reverse and the pedals and away we went, right? Like it was like, wasn't like, okay, make sure your seat's right and your mirrors and all this stuff. Like things that, like, where's your blinker? Where's your, like, we just figured it out as we were driving. And I don't know that that's the right way, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I wouldn't either. They don't give instructions to parents on how to teach their kids how to drive. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like a guidebook of, okay, like there should be at least like a checklist. Like,
I mean, do they learn that part of it in driver's ed? Like,
I'm sure. I'm sure they learn that stuff, but like, he probably was just so excited to like
be behind
drive, right? Like the next step that we just like got in and started driving. So
oh, that's fascinating.
It's like fun, but like scary fun. Is what I'll say. The first time we got on the freeway, I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God. I remember the day I got my license was the day I turned 16. And I remember I didn't have a car yet. Well, I had a car, but my sister Steph drove it and got in an accident. So my mom let me use her Suburban. So I like dropped her off at my dad's office and then drove to the high school. And I remember feeling like there's no way these people are letting me drive right now. Like I shouldn't be driving. Like I don't know if I didn't feel ready or if it was just like, holy crap, this is such a big responsibility moment. But I mean, other than speeding tickets in my youth, I never had any accidents, knock on wood.
Well, that's what I worry about, right? Is just like, and I don't worry about him so much as like other people. I think even when I drive, like, I don't worry about myself. I worry about other people. Right. And so it's just like...
So I'm constantly narrating when the kids are in the car now, probably annoying the crap out of them. But I'll be like, okay, so see how I'm approaching this light and, like, there's cars on the left and right side of me. And so even though I have a green light, I'm going to look left and right as I'm approaching the light and make sure somebody's not blowing through this stoplight or whatever. Like I'll tell them little things. I feel like my parents did that with me too, of just starting to talk through, talk through different things,
I mean, I don't do that. Maybe I should do more discussion. Like driving is fine. Anytime we turn or like we have so many roundabouts now in Andover that it's like, like, especially with the snow. But
yeah,
we'll figure it out. You just got to go slow.
I mean,
it's learning.
It's trial by fire with everything, right? Yeah. Like anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a wild age.
And he's my responsible one when we get to the second child. This is going to be a whole different...
Right.
Like, we'll wait till we're 17 or 18.
I know, but I, as the baby of the family, I think I'm the only one who didn't get in it, like an accident.
Oh.
So it can surprise you,
Yeah, for sure.
And I got the highest score out of my sisters, and I know that because I have an elephant memory, and B, I scored higher than them on something, so I remembered it.
You were like, yes. Yeah. I just, in my head, get, like, how they are in the car right now with their, like, friends and, like...
Right.
Distraction.
But now they have, like, curfew, and you can only have so many teens per car, which we didn't have those rules growing up. I didn't.
Yeah, it's like 6 months. I think it's 6 months. You can have a sibling or family member plus like another kid. Or
that's it? Wow. And then they have curfew.
Yeah, I don't know so much about the curfew.
Okay. I just remember coming down for hockey state with friends in high school, and we were starving, so we like rolled into a Perkins, and they were like, "You guys can't be in here. It's after curfew." And we were like,
Oh.
"Curfew? Like we didn't have that."
Well, so I grew up in Maple Grove, and Maple Grove, the city had a curfew. I don't know if they still do.
I don't know that we ever had
But it was
one.
the city of Maple Grove had a curfew if you were under 18. You had to be, I don't know if it was like midnight or what it was, but.
Okay. So are we going to talk about your dating?
We can.
We can.
We can. Well, yeah, so was it last time I was here, 2022? Gosh, how many years ago was that?
4.
4?
I mean, it's not the last time you were here. It was the
Last time
we recorded.
we chatted. Yeah, so I've been dating somebody since March. Almost a year. That's crazy.
Was it March? Okay, but you guys were talking for a while first.
Yeah, so I guess April, technically.
Yeah, okay.
We started talking in March.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Oh, I thought it was before that
Mm-mm.
that you were talking. Okay.
No, we started talking in March.
So coming up on a year.
I know.
And you guys met organically, not
We
through an
did.
app.
Yes.
That was your goal.
It was my goal, even though my friends were trying to convince me.
Okay, in my defense, we were trying to convince you because selfishly, I really wanted to just like hop on the app with you and be like, oh, what?
You just wanted to be like, yes, no, yes,
yes,
no.
yes. What a fun
Yes.
little activity.
I thought about it for a very long time. That just gave me so much anxiety. Like, I don't know. And maybe just hearing other people's like stories of like trying to date through, like meeting people and then being like crazy or this or that. I don't know. Like, but I've also heard super good stories of people finding people. But I don't know. It just like what the app stuff just like wasn't for me. But it was also like, how are you going to ever meet someone when all you do is drive your kids around to different activities?
Right. That was another reason why we were encouraging the apps, because we're like, look at our lifestyles. Like, what do we do besides parent right now?
Right. Nothing. Like, It's like, am I going to have to wait another like 10 years?
Right.
Yeah. So it's not funny, but like, so I've been meeting with Natalie, she technically a medium and
Yep, so she's a medium,
Medium.
and many of you have probably heard her on the podcast before. That was a popular episode.
yes.
I got to get her back on.
Yes,
but
love Natalie.
Yeah.
So Natalie and I have been meeting, I'd say, I've been meeting with somebody ever since Andrew passed away, like every year, kind of ongoing. And it's always been like one of our topics or conversations. But Natalie, for the past, I'd say 2 years, when we'd talk, like Andrew would be saying like, nope, like one of the reasons why I didn't want to use the dating app is because there was conversation when I'd meet with her of, no, you're not going to meet someone that way. You don't need to.
That's right.
Yeah, you don't need. So I would push back on my friends. I'm like, nope, Natalie said I'm not going to meet someone using an app, so I'm not going to do it. And whether people believe in this, kind of stuff or not, there's just been so many things throughout the last like 5 years of my life that have been like 100% accurate or like pretty close to, or like that have like happened.
Yes. And can I just pause and say, if people aren't open to the fact that we have mediums that connect with the other side yet, then like, man, you are missing out. And I really feel like all of us have the capability, but some people came to earth as like that's part of their purpose, and they came with like the gift of knowing how to tap into it easily, whereas the rest of us. It's just dormant. But I think we all have it within us. I mean, they say we use 10% of our brain, so what's the other 90% for?
Which I originally like started down that path was just with Andrew passing away and just like feeling this strong presence of him around all the time. And so and also just like missing him and wanting to see like, you know, can I really connect with him like in this way, which, and we won't get into all of those different moments or things that happen, but
that's on the last episode.
Yeah.
Many of it.
So anyways, Natalie and Andrew for the past like 2 years have been saying I was going to meet someone organically through kids' activities. And I think that's the one thing I've kind of learned with mediums in the process is that like while most of the like things that are discussed have been accurate, time is always very wishy-washy, where it's like it's going to be in July or it's going to be in 2 months or it's going to be, and so like time was always so it would always be something that was coming, but it never actually happened like when they said it was, you know, like going to.
And we have to remember, like, time is a 3D construct. It's how we use to make sense of life here on Earth, but time doesn't exist like that in heaven and in the other realm. So it's like everything happens kind of simultaneously up there. So if they can see something clearly, it probably feels like, oh, that's coming soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're exactly right. I've had many things come to fruition that the timing was off, but the message was spot on.
Yeah. So, like, I was going to meet someone through, I think it was specifically Weston's, through sports.
Yes, your son's sports. I remember that clearly.
And it wasn't clear if it was football or hockey or this or that. But anyway, I ended up, Weston had a coach that was helping his team. And so we had ended up chatting and like organically just about a camp and some things to do in the summer, and kept talking, and now it's been almost a year. That's
so wild. So it wasn't even just that Natalie said it's going to be, you're going to meet him through Weston Sports, but there was more.
Yes. Like, I mean, it was down to like kind of like things that he liked and like work and like, you know, what he did and
what his interest is, where his expertise is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Like there were very specific like things. And even like after we like met and started dating, I didn't really like think a whole lot into it or that until I was like, oh my gosh, Natalie like said this. Yeah. That like said these things, and I like didn't really like fully like pick up on it until like later on.
Yeah. And then you have to tell the banana costume.
Oh, yeah. So I had asked Natalie about a upcoming trip to Disney World that we were going to take, and Andrew was very excited about this trip and like said it was going to be amazing, which it was. And so there was always conversation of, she's like, well, how will they know, like me and the kids know if Andrew's there with us at Disney or around? And he said, like, if you see the banana costume, like, you'll know that I'm around. So, which was funny because Andrew loved this video it was like a sports baseball video of mascots, and one was in a banana costume and it's dancing to the Peanut Butter Jelly Time song. I don't know if you guys will have to like Google it or YouTube it, but there's like some video. So Andrew used to play that all the time and the kids thought it was hilarious. And so just like another thing that's like there's so many things of me knowing that Natalie's actually talking to Andrew that Natalie would never know, like ever, that just like so many connections. So so anyway, we did see banana costume at Disney, but I was flipping like back through pictures, and there was a picture of Weston and his friend dressed up as a banana.
Weston's friend.
Yeah, Weston's friend was dressed up as a banana for Halloween. And at the time, I didn't really it was just like funny, and that was their Halloween costume. Didn't really think anything of it. Well, super small world and like weird connection of that the boy dressed up in the banana costume is actually the guy I'm dating's godson. And so it was just like, there's like this banana, like Andrew always be there if you see a banana, and like knowing like this is like
this
the
is
right
aligned
path, and like this was his plan like all along. Just like I think there's just like reassurance and knowing like he's like, yes, it's okay, like I want you to be happy and I want you to continue your life with not him here physically. So
yeah, I mean the way I mean it for years you were hearing like you're gonna meet somebody and it's gonna be this and this. We're kind of like, okay, when's this happening? But then once it did, and all of those synchronicities, I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it also is so like comforting to know how connected we are to our loved ones on the other side, and how they are very real and active in our lives here on earth. Like how wild is that?
And it's like, I never want to say like, I think it's like sad to say like this was all part of the plan and always has been, just because you never want anyone to pass away from cancer or right. Like, so to say like this was always part of the plan, that sucks too.
Right.
But like, even if I go back like this Christmas and we were decorating the tree and Andrew had a Christmas ornament and it was at the very top of the box and it was this Minnesota Wild jersey with the number 17 on it. And we had opened it up or whatever and took it out of the box, and it was just like that was his jersey number.
Your boyfriend?
Yes, for playing hockey. And so he was kind of like, why do you have this? And I was like, well, he doesn't play for the Wild. It was just a random ornament. And it was like, it was Andrew's or whatever. And just like, it was just this weird, like, coincidence.
I don't believe in coincidences.
I know, but like not coincidence, but it was just this like, oh, that's crazy.
Synchronicity.
Yes.
So to kind of summarize, Andrew had a Wild jersey ornament with the number 17 on it. And this Christmas, Brooke's now boyfriend was helping her to open all of the ornaments to put them on the tree. And the first one, and it was, if I recall, it was separate from all of the other ornaments.
Yes. It was in its own tiny box that it was shaped like the jersey with the number on it.
Yeah, so it was the first one there. So the fact that he was the one opening it, that it was right there, that it was his number 17, and that was a gift that Andrew had gotten previously. Like you said, it's just things you can start to make sense of things like in reverse, and
just like connecting the dots of things that were always there, but you didn't realize that were there.
Right.
That connect you to other people or things, right?
Right. That's so amazing. I mean,
Well,
we,
we've talked about like the numbers and number sequences and stuff before, and just like certain times where we're doing certain activities or going somewhere or doing certain things where I see like the 333 or 55, like the different
mm-hmm.
repeating numbers, and I'm always just like, oh, okay, like
Yeah.
we're good.
Yep. I'm in alignment.
Yeah.
I'm on the right path. Yeah. It's so amazing. Well, even to think about the various paths in his life and how he was available and in your life at the time, like how things have to move together in order for things to happen is just so wild to think about.
Yeah, especially if you think about like the timing of like when guides think like something's going to happen, but everything has to be and had it been when they said it would, it probably wouldn't,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Natalie is such a gift, and I feel so fortunate that we were introduced to her. It was through my previous client, and at the time I think she had like 2 bookings a week, and now she's
like booked.
She's booked like solid.
I know. I think I've sent many people her way, but it's always funny whenever I talk to her, and she has so many clients in Minnesota now, and she does not live anywhere close to Minnesota.
I know.
So
she's also big in Asia. I forget.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so when she opens new appointments, a lot of times they book up through Asia first because they have first access.
Yes.
Because of the time difference.
Interesting. That makes sense.
I know. So if you, so she's Natalie J. Taylor on Instagram. And if you follow her, she will, on her stories, she will list if she has like cancellations and a last minute opening. So I suggest looking at those.
Yeah, I do highly suggest everybody do.
Me too.
A reading, whether it be with her or somebody else, like.
Yeah. And it's so tailored for what you need. So with Brooke, it was a lot of connecting with Andrew, and as well as like kind of where do I go from here and what's next. And for me, mine has been a lot about connecting with my grandfather, who's my spirit guide, and things with my career, which have been amazing. The one thing I think is one of the craziest ones, which I should probably share about it at some point, but a couple of years ago when we had a reading, she said, okay, the first thing I wrote down that they were telling me before we hopped on was school board. And I was like, oh no. She was like, are you like thinking of running for the school board or something like that? I'm like, absolutely not. I said, but I have been connecting with people in the community, and we've been talking about, what can we do to have some change on the school board or whatever. And I don't know at this time if the people in my group had nominated me to speak at the school board meeting or not, but that was around that time. And she said, well, Grandpa says you're not going to want to do it, but do it anyway. It'll be good for you.
You did a great job.
And I didn't want to do it. Thank you. I didn't want to do it just because I don't like speaking in contentious situations. I was hesitant because I didn't want to be misconstrued and misunderstood, all of those things. But I think what she was relaying from him is it was very important for my own evolution of just like finding my voice, speaking up for what I believe in. I think I encourage everybody to do that, and that's something that I had been working on for years. So, yeah, pretty wild.
I love that, or you can get so many different things out of it. I love that you're things related to your career and path and like direction has helped you kind of set like, you know, where you want to go, or reassure you that like, this is the right direction I'm going in.
And you know, she and I laugh because she's like I don't bring my bias to this stuff because, you know, she probably wouldn't have like said, yeah, go say, you know, go to the school board or whatever. But also I was in one of my readings, I was asking her about a specific like supplement or medication or something. And she was like, no, I didn't ask her about it. She like said the name. She said the name out loud. And, it was spironolactone, which is like for face, right? I don't take any pharmaceuticals, haven't wanted to. But my my holistic practitioner is like, you know, if you want to clear your face, spironolactone is very safe. It's very effective. I'm like, where have I heard? No, safe and effective. But she, I very much trust her. Anyways, and so I didn't say anything in the meeting with Natalie, but she, out of all words, she said spironolactone. And I'm like, what? And she's like, listen, she's like, they're saying, yes, go for it. And she's like, this is not coming from me because I took it when I was younger. It didn't go well for me, you know. So she'll say things even if like her own life
like,
experience
don't do it. Yeah.
would be like, no.
Don't do it.
Yeah. So pretty
That's
crazy.
A really specific
Isn't
word
it?
for her to just like have written on her paper or
like I had the prescription sitting in my whatever for however long and wasn't filling
I feel like
it.
I remember that.
Yeah.
You were super hesitant about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one path we keep revisiting that we can't quite figure out is like career and like, you know, things I want to do next or where I want to go. And where she sees me more of like helping people, like, but not like a counselor, but not like, it's not super clear yet. So we're still working through some of those of like, what do I want to do next? Which has been a big, you know, ever since Andrew passed away, of like, you kind of just like your priorities change and things you want to focus on. And I've always kind of had this, like, I love my job. I work for a great company, but like, I feel like there's just like having more passion to do something, you know, passion to do something else, but I don't know quite yet what that is.
Well, and it's probably all about timing because you have the beautiful benefit of working from home most days and a very flexible schedule, which is so, I think, needed and amazing for you right now. And so,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's going to come together exactly when the timing's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, for me, this is the first time I've had a recording that is going to go through, and we're going to release it next week. It's been over a month. I mean, it's been the last one released. I don't even know when, which I could easily get in my head about. But the reality is, like, there's so many things career-wise I want to do. And at the same time, like we were talking about before, this is such a sweet spot of the kids. And so I am just going to continue to prioritize them. And when I can get podcasts in, that's amazing. It's a bonus. But
well, and it's scary too, like a 43-year-old, like making such a big drastic change too is like,
Yeah.
like, so it's like something you kind of got to like ease into and figure out.
Well, I don't know how much easing into anything we're going to be doing this year. It's a year of the fire horse. So
Yeah, so what does that exactly mean?
yeah.
I mean, I've obviously like Googled it and like,
Yeah. So, I mean,
is it fire horse or fire hose?
fire horse.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes. So a couple things. So it's the Chinese zodiac year of the fire horse. We haven't had this since 1966. It comes only every 60 years, and its energy is intense. So, like sudden change and rebellion is a big theme. Accelerated timelines. So, for those of us who have been teeter-tottering between things, things can start to speed up. Breaking outdated systems, which, hallelujah, I'm here for. Loud truths coming to the surface. I think we've started to see bits and pieces of that, like Epstein, Diddy, like this, all this like ish stuff that has been kind of like in the, on the macro that we were so oblivious to for so long is coming out loud. And then push toward personal and collective freedom is another big one. And, you think back to, so the last year of the fire horse was 1966. So think like civil rights, the Cold War, Vietnam. This was when there was like a cultural revolution, like a lot of, I believe it was 1966, but correct me if I'm wrong, but it was right around there where it was the introduction to the pill, birth control pill. So it was a lot of like revolutionary things. ATM was in the year of the fire horse. So technology, a lot of big changes. And so, it seems like things are so polarized and heightened right now, but I feel like we're just on the precipice of all kinds of hopefully progressive good change.
Yeah, I would say hopefully it's good, positive
Yeah.
change, because I think we need some.
Right. Yeah. And I think we all need to recognize that as being a part of the collective, we all have a responsibility to just help usher this in a good way, where we're not turning on our neighbor, where we're not, we can have conversations, but do so with dignity and with respect. And I'm hoping to see more of that.
Yeah. I think we will.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be positive.
I think people are getting tired of the online feuds and the hateful, commentary back and forth.
I mean, and I'm not good. Like, this is where, like, I get so overwhelmed. I just, like, not, like, block it out, but I'm, like, just, like, whoa, what is happening? And I just, like, can't deal with it. Like, where other people are, so, like, engaged or this or that. And maybe it's just because I'm a single parent and I'm just, like, I can't take this on, like, my capacity for that right now is just
humans
not.
Weren't designed to get that much information at our fingertips constantly, and especially that much like combative, contentious like videos and stuff like that. We weren't designed to have that. And the more you engage in it, the more, our algorithms, it all shows us what we agree with, unless you have to work hard to train your algorithm to show you different things, but it wants to make a narrow path and show you,
Right. And just like with the news and articles, like knowing how they all tailor them to tell their, like, the narrative
own bias.
Yeah. Like where they want to point you to versus like, I thought the news was supposed to be like,
Right.
right, just like stating the facts, and it's
Wouldn't
just
that be
like,
great?
yeah. So then I struggle with like reading certain things, even because it's anything you read now or look at
Anything.
or watch is being tailored to get you to a certain point of view, and I'm like, I don't want any points of view. Like,
Yes,
I just want the
just the
straight
facts, ma'am.
facts of what happened, what is happening. Like, I don't need people's opinions.
Right. And I don't think we're ever going to get that from the mainstream media again. I don't know that we ever did. As soon as they were bought and paid for by large corporations, you have someone at the tippy top who's saying, push this narrative, or you can't say this, or don't talk about this.
Yes.
Because that's where they're getting their money from. So, you know, thank God for independent podcasters. That's what I usually listen to. Yes, they're going to have their opinions and biases too.
Right.
But at least I've gotten really good at understanding which ones are bought and paid for and which ones are just speaking their truth. And the only ones I'm really listening to right now are the ones who are like me, who feel like they're politically homeless. Like, I don't belong to that camp. I don't belong to that camp.
That's how I feel.
Don't put me in a tribe.
Yeah.
I don't want to be part of your cult. I want to form my own opinion about each individual issue.
Right. That's how I am.
Yeah.
100%. So then I just get so overwhelmed with all of this like stuff going on that I'm like, it's almost like numbing. Like, it's just like so.
It is. We get desensitized.
Yes, and I like check out. Like, which it's not good that I do that, but I just like can't even process what is all happening.
I don't know if that's bad though. One of my favorite quotes was from Duncan Trussell, and he said, "Some ignorant fool is out in the woods without a phone or a TV and has no idea what he's supposed to be upset about." And it's like, yeah, if you disconnect and you just live in the real world and interact with your community, you will have a minuscule fraction of the outrage. You won't have any, really. I don't.
Yeah. Well, no, that's how I feel. Like, I don't like.
And it's not healthy to, and I'm not saying like disengage from things that you feel passionately about. I clearly do, but it certainly shouldn't be everything. You know?
Yes.
You have, like for me, I have to pick and choose what things I am going to speak to and get involved in. And for me, it's always going to be the kids.
Yes.
It's always going to be children because they need us to be voices. And everything else, I'm like, yeah, I've got opinions about it. And yeah, it makes me sad or makes me angry or makes me whatever. But like, I'm gonna focus my energy on my family.
Yes, it's not taking up
myself.
all this space in me right now.
Right.
That's not to say it's not going to change down the road, but just right now I can't let it take up all this space.
Right. Yeah, we got enough on our plates with carpools and year-round sports.
Right.
Yeah. Well, do we have...
We have one more topic we didn't talk about.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Yay, okay.
Being in our 40s and all of the hormonal...
And
perimenopause, hormones, everything going on.
So I know we text about this all the time, but like, yeah, I think you have some different symptoms than I do. I have some different symptoms than you do, and I think that's what's so fascinating and infuriating is that before like society was actually starting to talk about perimenopause out loud, and like probably before social media, women were just going through their 40s probably feeling like they were crazy because no two people have the same journey and have the same symptoms.
Right. I mean,
I feel bad for all the other generations.
yes. And I feel bad for people who are in their 40s right now and aren't like, don't know that there are things that can help, or there are,
Yes.
right? Like that, like, and I guess being fortunate to me, like knowing you, or, us talking about this, and like, reaching out to others for help, because it shouldn't be the norm. Like it's not the norm. Like it's not normal, right? And there are
Right.
things you can do to, like, so that you feel better and aren't crazy. Don't feel crazy.
Right. Like your hormones should be regulated.
Right.
And
they're supposed to be, like,
right. Right. And once they start to change, we have the opportunity and I think the responsibility to like get our blood tests and to get them in order, because it can change a person's personality so much so that they're unrecognizable.
And I think what's the frustrating part, or like that people don't realize, right, is like, I go to my, like, I've always gone to like my general doctor, right, or a general type doctor, right, and was like, I think for 2 years, like, something's just not right. Like, I'm just, where I had blood tests, I had these things done, I had everything checked, and they would go through the results with me and be like, nope, everything's in the normal range. Yes, right? And so
frustrating.
That was for like 2 years, and I'm like, everything's normal. Like, I am going to the doctor. I feel like I am participating in this process and trying to like advocate for myself, and the doctors are telling me I'm fine, everything's fine. And then until working with like a hormone specialist, or like, I don't, like doing your blood test and actually talking and meeting with someone that can like, that is focused in on that and can go through and be like, well, yeah, sure, in like the larger medical scale or whatever, like this number is considered normal, but like really you're like all the way at the top, like this isn't where it should be.
Yeah, the markers for a lot of the things that they'll use at your general practitioner were created 50 plus years ago. And so
so for a woman in her 40s and in 2025 or 2026 now, that's not like those markers, that isn't normal anymore.
Right. Because we evolve and things change. And, especially if you think about how many endocrine disruptors we have in our society, like, how many of us used plastic heated up as 90s or 80s babies, but we did it in the 90s. So like healthy choice meals or lean cuisines in the microwave, like anytime we heated up plastic, ate out of it, all of that stuff just messes with your hormonal system. Drinking out of water bottles, like, that was all that convenient stuff hit our generation hard. And so it definitely messes with your hormones. And if you're not detoxing regularly, or if you're not doing things to clean out your system and get rid of, those things, then that's an additional thing that's going to make your hormones jacked up, besides just going through the stage of life.
Yeah. And I mean, so it's been like, you've been on your kind of journey a little bit longer, and I've like, I think, we have different like symptoms during different things, but like it was night and day difference from when I started. It was like a year in March, I think, where I started doing like hormone replacement therapy. So, and like between that and just like nutrition has been like such a game changer for me, and just like my attitude and my ability to be a good parent and friend and get up and, you know, like want to participate in the day. And it's like, I don't know, it's just like feeling so much better about myself in general it's made like such a difference.
Yeah. And we both work with Jennifer Walter, who was on the podcast before. That's another great episode. If you haven't listened to that one, tune into that one, because she goes into so much about hormones and how important it is for us to have it regulated and to do it the right way. Like Brooke was saying, if you go to your general practitioner and they do a blood test, they're going to read it very differently. And what Jennifer does, she goes based off of symptoms. So let's say, you know, if you have certain
hot flashes,
like
sweating at night, like one.
That's one. Weight gain around your belly that seemingly comes out of nowhere when you're doing all the same things. Low libido, low energy, hair loss, like so many different things that she just kind of listens to you, and then in combination with the blood test is like, okay, this is what we need to do.
I think low energy was one that like was really
huge,
hard, like getting me. Like every day at 2:00, I would be like,
crash.
If I don't take a nap right now, like I'm not going to survive the day. Like horrible. And within, I think, I don't know, I would say within a month, my first check back within, or maybe that was 6 weeks, it was like, I was like, no, I feel great. Like I don't need to take a nap anymore.
Yeah. Are you on testosterone?
Yes.
Okay, me too. And I think that was one of the big things, because my testosterone was almost 0. And so having that, I've also, my energy has increased so much, but I've also noticed when I'm lifting, I can actually do more reps than I could before with the same amount of weight. Like I just feel stronger and have more energy.
Yeah. What I love about Jennifer too is she's like, it's not just like, okay, you need to take X, Y, and Z, right? Or like from a medication perspective, it's okay, I want you eating this much protein a day. I need you getting this many steps in. I need you to get this much, you know, lifting in, that sort of thing. It's like all encompassing health, not just like, let's take this medicine and see how things.
She looks at like your macronutrients. What's your percentage of protein versus carbs versus fat? Does that work for your body right now at this age? And
it's constantly changing.
Yeah.
So it's not just like a one and done. It's like, okay, in 6 months or, you know, however long it's separated, let's do another blood test and check in and see what your levels are. Because as we're going through all these changes over the next 10 years, I like
Lord.
say that like, oh God, like it's going to continue to fluctuate. So it's like, okay, well, let's make adjustments and so that, you know, get you back on to, you know, the right. Maybe I don't need as much testosterone or.
I know, I'm excited. I just, when Fozzie was barking earlier, I bet it was my lab test that just came to the door, because I ordered them and I think they're coming today. But I am pretty convinced that I might have to start taking estrogen. So because I was always having a regular cycle, you don't need estrogen. But that's started to change in the last, like, I don't know, 4 months. Yeah. Maybe a little bit longer. So that's the thing too. Everybody's different, and she tailors it to what your needs are. Which
I'm pretty sure my symptoms started when I was like, before I turned 40. Like, and then it just carries on like it.
Yep. Yeah. But you just
think it's normal, or everyone's like, oh, this is normal. Like,
well, because the fallacy we've all been fed for our entire lifetime is when you get older, your looks are going to go, you're going to gain weight, you're going to like all the stuff that it's like, oh, that's just a part of aging. It's like, no, actually, you can reverse age by eating right, taking the right things.
So when we're 50, we're going to look 40.
I was going for 30.
Oh, 30. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that. That would be great.
Yeah. Well, if I start really getting, so I'm following a lot of like face yoga.
Yeah.
And myofunctional therapy for like
face yoga. That's a new one. I've never heard of face yoga.
Oh, face yoga? No. Yeah. So it's all about like your lymph and your fascia and like getting everything working. Yeah, it's very fascinating. I mean, these women's foreheads who are just doing face yoga and nothing else. You probably think I'm buying into a fad, but it's not. It's very
like,
old.
It's like the ballad. Like I'm feeling like our next episode's gonna be like we're gonna be on those like balance boards that are shaking while wearing our red light mask
doing all the things. But like the stone. What do you call it? A gasha?
Oh yes, my 11-year-old uses one every day.
Okay, yeah, they're ridiculous.
The like
that
stone.
Generation.
Yes,
that's the same thing.
Okay.
So, but you can do it with your hands too. But the purpose of it is all about is to actually create movement and.
So just do what my 11-year-old has already been doing for the last year, and I'll be.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, no, those stones work, but like they.
I just look at it as like one more thing to add to my routine, and then I get like, I'm pretty sure I have one. I just don't like use it on a regular basis.
Totally, the self-care stuff, like Big Time Adulting. You follow her on Instagram. She's a really sarcastic, funny woman who'll be like, guys, it's not that hard. We just have to eat 180 grams of protein a day, but we can't eat too much because then, whatever. And then you have to get over 10,000 steps in, but don't work out too hard because then you're going to raise your stress level. Like, she's so funny. She does all these to make fun of.
And let's do all of that while we're sitting in our car for 4 hours every night, driving our kids back and forth.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. I used to be really good when like the kids were younger about like self-care Sunday or whatever, and like do my mask and or after the kids went to bed, and I'm not as like.
No, I'm not good about masks, but I do use my red light mask because I can just do that while sitting in bed and watching TV with Gare. But I don't do it every night because, again, sometimes kids get home from activities after 10, and it's like, getting them.
I just want to go to bed.
Yeah, ushering them to bed, and then I know.
We can add that to our goals for 2026. More self-care.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I do like doing yoga, like heat yoga. I love heat yoga.
I love heat yoga, but I don't do it often enough. And for me, I carry my energy, my emotions, and my sacral. So I've been told by many different people that I need to do yoga to help move that. And dancing is good for me too, which I love to dance. So if you want to ever go dancing. We just dance around the house.
We just took out the old Switch and brought it to the cabin and started doing Just Dance.
Oh,
on there.
Just Dance. So
like fun. Even my mom and dad were doing it. We were all doing it.
That's fun.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, our kids have that. That was a fun one.
We brought it to the cabin because we were like, this is good on a rainy day or when it's like freezing outside. So everybody got into it. So
you know what else you have, which is amazing, is the Power Pad for Nintendo. Oh my God, when you told me you had that, I was like, it was like those reels where like the cars peeling out, or like the like Bugs Bunny's like running as fast as he can.
I'll be there in 2 seconds. So we should take that out again. And,
yes, so fun.
we have a bin of all of Andrew's old video, like consoles. Like he has all of the consoles still and
Wow.
in this bin. I mean, I don't even know what's in there for game consoles, and then just tons and tons and tons of video games. One of them is the Power Pad with the regular Nintendo. And we definitely have to like jimmy rig it to get it to
You got to blow in it.
Yeah, and like the spring is
You
messed
gotta
up.
put it in
So you gotta
just
like
so.
put another one inside or like push it,
Yeah.
down just perfectly to get it to work. But it does work.
Yeah. My brother-in-law, so Justin got one of the digital like small box that has literally every Nintendo game ever.
Yeah.
We have the one upstairs that has like
The NES Classic, probably. That's what we have.
Yeah, and it's got like 100 games or
Okay.
maybe not even that many.
Ours is, I think it's got like 20. It's got like Mario 3.
Yeah,
like
we have that one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
so
that's what we have too.
but his has literally every game.
Oh my gosh.
And I've looked for that so hard ever since, and I don't.
It like doesn't
can't buy it
exist?
anymore. He tried to look for me too.
Oh.
But when we went to Merritt Island, like a whole Rowell family trip several years ago, he brought it. Oh my God, it was so fun and so nostalgic.
Hayden and we just took it out the other night and we're playing original Mario.
The best.
And then
Mario 3 is better, but
yeah, so we started out with original Mario, and then Hayden and I are partial to Mario 3.
yes.
Except for if she can't beat a world, then she makes me do it, and I'm like, girl, I need a second to remember. She gets mad if I die, and I'm like, okay, we're in like I'm in like the one with the quicksand, and like I'm like, okay, just
that
like
one's hard.
So we finally made it to world 3, which is the water, and I was like, this is the best world because it's got the switch, like the swimming and the frog suit.
The frog suit.
Yeah, the frog suit.
Yes.
Exactly. And then the one where the giant frog that eats you.
Yes.
Yeah. So she had never gotten to World 3 before.
Oh.
Just playing on her own. And so we got to World 3 and she's like, this is awesome.
That's
like,
so cute.
Yeah.
I was like the raccoon suit, the one that like freezes you.
Yeah.
And be frozen.
That's a good one too. But think about that. The amount of hours like
we invested in that game.
consumed playing.
I see. You're saying consume playing. I'm going to say invested into that game.
Okay.
Because the way that we have been able to wow our kids in
With our
the skill
skills.
set
Yes.
was pretty worth it.
Yes. I mean, I still know like some of the secrets, like as I'm playing, I'll be like, wait a minute, I think something's up here. And then Hayden's like, what? How'd you know that's there? And I was just like, just a really good memory of like stupid random stuff.
And the best now is when you get the end cards, the Nintendo cards where it's like the matching game.
Oh, yeah.
You can just Google it.
Oh, you can?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've never done that.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to tell you that. We got one and she had never got one seen that before. She's like, what do you have to do? And I was like, oh, you just have to find the matches.
Yeah, you can Google it. There's several that are very similar, so you kind of have to.
And then she didn't realize when you get 3 stars at the end, then you get 3 guys or whatever.
5.
Or 5, yeah.
Yeah.
So she was like, because I did that, and so she was like, I didn't know that's what that was for. And I was like, yeah, if you try to get it matching every time.
I mean, all those hours were worth it.
I know. We're gonna have to dedicate. It's gonna be really cold this weekend, so I think we'll dedicate some. The boys are going to War Road, so we'll dedicate some solid Mario 3 time.
Oh, that's fun.
To our calendar. Yeah, we'll have to take out the
Power Pad.
Power Pad.
This is the season to do it.
We have a puzzle out right now, though, so I'm alternating between my puzzle because I'm.
You're really into puzzles.
I know.
It's super cute.
It's really good for your brain.
It is good for your brain.
And I can actually get everybody to participate, not always all at the same time, but
That's nice.
even some of Weston's friends, I'll be like, hey, can you help me find the rest of the end pieces? And like he found like 3 of them. So as they're like walking by. So everybody.
That's nice. I feel like that's just not enough action for me. We like to play a lot of Monopoly. And because it takes so long, one of the gifts we got them for Christmas is it's I forget what it's called, but it's an add-on to Monopoly where you have these cards to make the game go faster.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is fun, and it does make it go faster.
We have like the big board, like the wooden.
Oh yeah, we've got
like,
that too.
The drawer thing or whatever. Like
do you have Clue on the other side?
Huh?
Do you have Clue on the other side?
No.
Okay.
We don't. But that's another good one.
I love Scrabble.
Oh, I'm not this. I like Yahtzee. I saw you at Yahtzee.
That's a good one. Yep.
Did you have Yahtzee on the table
playing
upstairs?
That too. Yeah.
Yeah. We just got like jumbo Yahtzee.
Oh, that's cute. What do you mean what's jumbo?
It's like in a big plastic container, and the dice are like bigger. So you could just like roll it on your floor.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
But same concept.
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay.
It's just like giant size.
Yeah, yeah. Gary and the kids like to play cribbage, but the counting stresses me out. And then they start to make fun of me when I'm like counting on my hands, and then I get in my like 3rd grade girl like inner child. I'm gonna run out of the room crying.
Oh my gosh, that's so. I've played cribbage before, but I don't remember how to play. That's the one where you count like 15-2, 15-3, like that.
I think so.
Something. Yeah. Okay. I played it before, but Andrew was super good at cribbage. And I literally said, I want to learn how to play cribbage this year. But I'm pretty sure I don't like it because of the counting. Like,
yes.
And he would always stand behind me to like count, or like his dad would stand behind me to count. And I was like, no, I don't. You're stressing me out.
1,000%. It just stresses me out.
Because I'm super not good at math, and my kids tell me this all the time of how bad I am, and I'm like, I'm actually fine with it. I don't care. Like, I do. Me
too. I'm like, I don't use. I'm like let me play Boggle and Scrabble and word games and categories and games that I excel in. Thank you.
Yes, I can use a calculator, and I have made it through my schooling that I needed to, and I can use a calculator now, and that I'm fine with.
Yeah. When
measuring though and using a ruler is like a whole nother situation.
No, 1,000%. And when we're having to add up our things in Yahtzee, it's 222. Crazy. I use a calculator, and Gary will be like, no, guys, you do it in your head. Like, come on. And he has the kids do that, and I'm like,
yeah, I'm not doing it in my head.
Calculator.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Mm-hmm. Well, you can tell them that I would be the exact same way. My kids actually, like, Hayden is like, because Hayden's not like the best at math, but she'll be like, why did you make me bad at math? I'm sorry. I didn't make you bad. Yeah. I'm just not the best at it. Like, I'm pretty sure you're better than me at this point. I think though, if they would have taught math how they teach it now, like new math, I think I actually would.
Me too.
Be really a lot better at it.
Me too. And when I look at it now, I'm like, what are all these strategies? I don't get it. But the way that they work through them so quickly, I'm like,
yes, I was like, oh gosh, this makes a lot of sense, but it like stresses me out. I'm like, why?
Right. And they actually understand how they got there better, and like how things are broken down than how we were taught, which is like a lot of rote memorization.
Well, that's what I was just saying, is like, I feel like I just had to like memorize. Oh yeah, like, everything.
We did. Remember those time tests for like multiplication and stuff?
Yes. So I'm like, no, I never learned like how to break down a number. You just had to memorize it.
Yeah.
Sheer panic.
Sheer panic. No, I don't like the number games. Not for me. Except for Yahtzee. I can handle Yahtzee. Well, trip down to memory lane, lots of nostalgia, perimenopause, dating life, parenting. I mean,
I think we covered our
sports.
life in a nutshell.
Yeah, this is 44 and 43. Wait, yeah, you're younger, puppy.
When you said this is 44 and didn't add the 43 at first, I was like, what? Don't age me. I'm not there yet.
You've got some time.
Panic.
Well, I promise it's not going to be, well, you got to promise me it's not going to be, 4 years before we record again? Since we talk every day anyways.
Yeah. I'll start a list for next.
Yeah.
Next. Girl time.
Next time. I know. Well, good. This was fun.
Thanks for having me. It's
of
fun
course.
to catch up on.
I know. And please, if anything we talked about resonated with you, or you have a story, share it. We love to hear that stuff. On YouTube, you can put comments or you can just text us. Bye.
Bye.